All right, well, with all eyes on Russia as it continues to invade and attack Ukraine, it's easy to miss a new alliance forming right under our noses. Joining us now is the Senior Director for the Center for the National Interest, Harry Kazianis. Harry, good to see you. You wrote in the New York Post about this new axis forming between Russia and China, something that we have started to talk about here. The U.S. has now information suggesting that China is open about helping Russia with the invasion. So the question is there anything that we can be doing to sort of prevent that alliance from occurring or strengthening?
Hey, Sean, thanks for having me. I'll be honest, my friend, it's going to be very difficult to stop that formation. The challenge here right now is Russia is desperate for any sort of aid that it can get. And that makes sense. I actually talked to a very senior money manager in Wall Street, and what he explained to me was that the Russian economy is going to get hit with about $2.5 trillion in losses. Now, to put that in perspective, that's almost twice the size of the Russian economy's GDP in 1 year. So the Russian economy, by and large, is facing essentially collapse this year. So they are going to need any sort of aid that they can possibly get. And I think what that means, Sean, is they're basically going to have to go to China, essentially become a colony of Beijing at this point. They're going to want to try to sell them anything they possibly can to get hard currency, whether that's oil, natural gas, timber. And that might even be selling some weapons technology to them, Sean. I mean, they have very, very dangerous hypersonic weapons. They have access to aircraft carrier technology and a lot of other things. And that's what makes this really dangerous.
You know, the United States keeps acting like we have something to threaten China with. I don't think that we have much. China is holding our economy hostage. They have a bigger military than us. They pour money into it. Do you think that China is worried about us and any sanctions we could impose on them?
You know, I don't think right now, to be honest with you. I mean, we are kind of in a China trap, to be honest with you. The United States and China have a $750 billion per year bilateral trade relationship. It's the biggest in the world. It might even be the biggest in history, to tell you the truth. So as much as President Trump tried to decouple the economy from China, he did a great job on that. It's one of the things I think in a second term he would have been able to do, something that's not been fulfilled. And let's face it, as much as we don't like it, we are dependent on China for microchips, or rare earth elements, cell phones, so many different things that keep our economy going. It is going to be very hard for the Biden administration to start sanctioning Chinese firms or Chinese banks or anybody in Beijing who starts funding Russia's war campaign in Ukraine. It's going to be tough.
You know, Harry, I don't have a ton of time, but I really want to get to this, and I don't mean to jam you, but you tweeted that in the past you were for wars that brought about regime change, but looking back, you realized you were wrong. Explain what you mean real quick.
Sure, Sean. The thing is this. We need to think long and hard about all the pressure we're putting on Russia. I hate Vladimir Putin. He's a thug. He's the Michael Corleone of geopolitics. But at the same time, we're hitting Russia with so many sanctions that are going to come due in about 2 to 3 months. Russian economy collapses. What happens when Putin is essentially backed into the corner? Does he start using tactical nuclear weapons? I've done simulations where he has when he's gotten into these situations. So I think it's important. We need to punish him. We need to help the people of Ukraine. But we need to think about the long-term ramifications, too. We don't do that in foreign policy. And we have Iraqs and Syrias and Afghanistans. We need to think it through.
All right, Harry, good to see you tonight. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, guys.